Here on the channel. Welcome to another episode of Start to Spin. My name is Diego, also known as DJ Pretty Boy, alongside my boy Shay, also known as DJ Shay. And together we started this journey to talk about DJ related content, such as tips and tricks, of our experiences, our knowledge, and just share it with you guys. So whether you are a seasoned DJ or a new DJ just getting started, this is the spot to be. And with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this intro.
All right.
Back. One more
What's
episode.
up?
Episode 22.
22. Yes, sir.
Excuse my voice, but right now I'm a little sick, but I'm still here. I'm still with you guys, hustling. And today we actually had a very, very good topic that I thought it was a good time to talk about. And so does Shay has some input into this topic as well. And it is
Definitely.
dealing with bridezillas, or maybe not so much bridezillas like just brides, but in general with people or customers that are very picky or like attention to detail, or they're very like oriented when it comes to like wanting things a certain way, or want to do something in a way that you don't agree with, but like they're the one paying you and it is your job to fulfill what they want. But it also, at times it comes to where you have to let them know, like, okay, if you do this, then this could happen. and
Yeah.
and sometimes they don't like to hear. They just, whatever they think, they assume it's gonna work regardless. But once they hear negativity, or well, not so much negativity, but once you present them with what could happen, because it wasn't a thought in their mind, they like set back, or it gets worse. So
They get shaken up. They're like,
yeah,
oh,
so
it throws them off.
yeah, so definitely we'll talk about that. And go ahead, Shay. I'll give you the.
Yeah, so I think we were talking before a little bit, but I don't know if I've ever had someone I would call like a bridezilla, well, because when I think of bridezilla, I think of like in the movies, like someone constantly having meltdowns and like wanting everything exactly a certain way. Like in like I don't think I've had anyone to like that level, but I've definitely
Mhm.
had some like brides that are like really type A personality and just trying to plan like everything down to the smallest detail. And I think the biggest tip, because I asked this question to an event planner, because the event planners, I feel like they deal with this way more than we do, because they're going through all like the actual planning every moment to moment of the entire wedding. So I asked them, and the number one advice that they had for me was that just set the expectations early and then remind them about the expectations throughout. Like the worst thing you can do for a bridezilla, or somebody who has those tendencies, to like be a super overbearing, is promise them things that like are like extraordinary things, extravagant things, like, oh yeah, like the dance floor is going to be amazing, you guys are going to have an amazing time, the ceremony is going to be so beautiful, you're going to hear every single word. And I don't know, like, I mean, obviously that's what you're going to try to achieve at the end of the day. But if you try to set these really high expectations, and then they might start throwing things at you, like, oh, we want to do the ceremony like outside in a forest, and like and all these like other roadblocks, you might not be able to deliver on the thing that you had set the expectation for ahead of time. And then when you can't, or you have to tell them something like, hey, I don't think this is a good idea, after setting all these expectations at the beginning, that might make them like, hey, but what, you told me that at the beginning, like we were going to be able to do this and do that. And so having like really having set like really high expectations comes back to bite you in the butt, especially when you have a bridezilla. So just kind of set realistic expectations, like we're going to try everything, we're going to try our best to make everything the way it is. Here are some pictures and videos, show them things that they can see, and that they can be like, okay, like this is what things will look like, and that they can have a more realistic expectation for, rather than them imagining all these like amazing things, how things are going to
Right.
be. And then when the day comes, it's like, or when you start planning, you're like, oh, actually we can't, that's not really going to be possible, just based on whatever timeline, this, that. So that's the biggest thing. I'll start off with that, is just, don't set really high expectations when you feel like you're kind of dealing with someone who could become into a bridezilla.
So yeah, so it's also the same way for me when it comes to dealing with this type of customers. Is to me is like, first thing is first. Your preparation is key, is huge with this type of, especially with this type of people. They're very like nitpicky, and everything needs to be in exactly a specific way that they want it to be.
Yeah.
Preparation is huge because that gives you and them a peace of mind that everything is gonna go as planned per the client. However, there's always gonna be something that doesn't happen how it was supposed to, and it is our job to make that seamless. Like
Hmm.
that it's not noticeable, and that we help the bride or the birthday girl, whatever. We help them to like ease off the pressure of things are not going the way it was supposed to go, because eventually it's not really a big deal, in the sense of, if it like if it's not the first dance, like if you put the wrong song for the first dance, then yeah, it's a big deal.
Yes.
But if dinner runs 15 minutes late, or like the open dance floor, it's like 30 minutes late, those are things that can be fixed. And also those are things that are not noticeable to your guests, because they don't know the plan, but first
Yeah.
dance, or like father daughter dance, or things like that, yes, those are crucial. So again, preparation is very, very huge when it comes to dealing with very, I don't want to call them difficult clients, they're not difficult clients, but with very like specific and detail oriented clients.
Yeah.
Because if they see that you are sure, prepared, professional on what you do, there's gonna be the amount of trust that you need to gain from them, so they have the peace of mind that you're gonna do your job right.
Yeah.
Another thing is staying calm and always stay professional. It doesn't matter how because like brides, or especially brides, and like birthday girls, like females, especially females, they get so into like, okay, this needs to be like this. Everything has to be in a specific way, because they're planning their party, they're doing like the decorations and all that. So if you see like a bride or a birthday girl, just stressed or like anxious about the event, that eventually the rudeness of her not meaning to, but it's gonna come out from her, or you're gonna take it in the wrong way, and inside of you, like, what
Get
the hell?
annoyed. It gets
Yeah,
annoying.
like, what is she doing? Why is she talking to me like that? But
Yeah.
it's actually how you respond and how you deal with that obstacle that is gonna make you a better person, and also a better business, because at the
Yeah.
end of
More
the day, if
professional.
yes, more professional, because in this type of situations, after the event is done, she is gonna realize that she's gonna be like, "Dang, I was a bitch," but he knew how to deal with it, how to handle, and he delivered. Guess what? You just got a great review, and you
Yeah.
have a client possibly for life,
Yeah, and I
because she's
think I
gonna
think a
get
lot
paid.
of times it's like this when they're planning, right? It's like you have all this time and to think
Yeah,
about, oh, do I want this black tablecloth or like this poke, like I don't know, like these small details that don't matter. But the
yeah,
problem is when you have all that time to plan, it's like they get in their own head, and like it becomes that's what like kind of freaks them out. But then on
yeah,
the day of, sometimes it's like once everything's going, it's like stuff just starts happening, and it's like as long as you're able to keep the big stuff, like you said, like like the big dances, if they're doing a performance or something, like obviously all that has to be on point. But then little
Yeah.
things here and there, like oh, you forgot to put the spotlight, you didn't shine on them during the dance floor, or like, you know, they're not going to notice little things like that once the day starts going, you know. And but
Yeah.
obviously, you know, the goal is to make everything perfect, but you know, it's usually the pre-planning process when they're like, oh, thinking about all these things, and oh my god, like we have to do this and this. On the day of, it's like if it doesn't go according to plan, sometimes you can get away with it too, you know. It's like even if it's that same bride.
Yeah, of course. And that's also because a lot, like 80-90% of the stuff, it's on their shoulders. So they feel the pressure as time
Yeah,
gets closer to the day. They feel that pressure. Everything needs to be like perfect in their eyes. And you know that revolves in you as the DJ, and whatever the decorators, and you know anyone that she hires, the food, they need to be there on time. If she says 4 o'clock, they need to be four. If it's 4:01, she's already tripping, or
yeah,
you know, like things like that. So another thing is, as a DJ, we need to be very flexible. And what I mean by that is you need to be prepared for sudden changes, especially with this type of crowd, with this type of
yeah,
clients. You need to be ready and be able to accept changes, because you never know. She might like on the spot. She's like, okay, you know what? Scratch the presentation. This one, let's do this presentation. And can you play this song, please? You know, and then you can't on the spot. You can be like, yeah, no, I can't play that song, like because you already know how you know how she's gonna. If she's that
yeah.
type of person, you're gonna have a
Yeah,
client that's crying or like yelling, bitching at you, or you know things like that.
yeah. This are
Obviously,
yeah.
as
No,
long
no way. You do whatever they say.
yeah, at that point, yes, but also meaning as long as you're able to get the song or whatever she wants you to do, get it in a good quality, then go for it. You know, but if you're not able to get a song, how are you gonna do it if you don't have a song? Like instead of you saying I can't do that, offer options. Meaning, you know what, that
Yeah,
song I don't have, but however, I have this song. How about can we do it with this song? It has the same vibe. And it will it will have the same effect. But I don't have the song that you're requesting. Can we do this song? You know, instead of just shutting it off or giving
yeah,
a negative, present a solution that makes you one flexible, two professional, and three reliable. And all of those add up at the end of the night, because that's she's gonna remember that. Oh wow, you know, I changed this on him on the spot. And however, even though he didn't have the song or he wasn't able to get the song, he offered another song that matched the vibe and
solution.
it went perfectly. You know, it still was
Yeah,
smooth. Another huge one is, please, like you mentioned this already. Your expectations. When you set expectations, set realistic expectations. When you talk to your brides or the party coordinators or whoever you're talking to, set realistic, very very realistic expectations, because you don't want to overdo it and then under deliver. If you
yeah,
overdo it, you under deliver, you are at a loss. They think that it was gonna be here, and then you were here in their eyes. And sometimes it's not us. Sometimes it's just that the crowd is not there to dance. Sometimes no matter what you play, just they won't dance. They're not there to dance. They're probably there to just conversate, or have a conversation with somebody else that they haven't seen in 10, 20 years, and
right.
they just don't want to dance. But you put it up here, and then that's what they go with. Oh yeah, my party's gonna be like a rave, or whatever, and they don't get that. That's not setting a realistic expectation. Don't oversell yourself too much, because it's now it's not what you want. You want to tell exactly what you can deliver, what they can expect. Obviously,
Yeah,
knowing that it's not always going to be the case, but 9 times out of 10, that is the case. What's up,
yeah,
Smiley?
yeah. Smiley's in the house. You put some Godzillas for the Bridezillas out there. Yeah, but no,
Um,
I agree, dude. That's why I was gonna show. Let me pull this up. I had the closest thing I've had to a bridezilla. This is an example of what my planning sheets look like when I do my consultations and stuff, and the
Uh-huh.
client has access to this, and they can update it. So I had this girl that was just so like putting the craziest details in everything that I to a level that I hadn't seen before. And she was like, it was definitely like, it was like anxiety and a lot of like emotions about the wedding. She was never like crazy, like like I wouldn't call her bridezilla, but it was definitely that like kind of super detail oriented, overbearing type of person. So this is not going to show everything because we had so much back and forth. But just to like give an example, here she had a wedding processional, that she wanted me to do, and she wanted to like have specific spots of the song, where each person entered. So like this is the groom, this
Yeah,
is
I
like
had that.
this is the timing. She wanted the other people, and then
Yeah.
she wanted to everyone to rise, and then for her to enter like specifically at this one part. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like I was like, all right, I can put hot cues and I can play it, with the hot cues. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, no worries, like we'll definitely be able to do this. And then she like messages me back like, hey, I'm really worried about this. I want to make sure like I don't miss this part. Like, is there any way that we can make sure this doesn't get messed up? So then I had to send her. I explained to her this entire thing. Like, all right, like I have ways that I can jump around in the song if I need to. So if we get past your 1:50 or something, I'll just jump back to that part. And then when it's your turn, I basically had to explain to her exactly how hot cues work. And then she's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, okay. Like that helps. Thanks you so much for explaining that. So I had to go back and forth with her to like make sure she understood like how I would do it. Because like
Yeah.
regularly it's like if you just trust the DJ, be like, all right, yeah, I'll get this done. It's a little bit extra work, but I'm like, all right, I put hot cues and I'll figure it out. But like for her, I really had to go through and explain everything about how exactly I would get this done for her. Which I was like, usually it's like, all right, DJ said he would do it, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, so that actually happened to me too. And
Oh
the
really?
what I did, but what I did was I FaceTime her, FaceTime the girl, and I
Yeah.
was like, this is what's gonna happen. This second, and I was just pressing the hot cues, and then I was like, boom, I
Oh, you
pressed the
showed it
first
to
one,
her.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then literally I did it live, and I was like, okay, after they walk, I just press this button, and then this song is gonna start playing at the specific time you gave me, and then
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
people are gonna start walking, and then the other one, because there was like 5 different songs, because it was
Yeah.
different, like a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
that's a
people.
good idea. But that's the thing. Like some clients, right? They'll just be like, all right, the DJ is gonna like take care of it. They'll leave it to you. But there's some
Yeah,
people that are like, oh, like how's he gonna do it? Like how if I'm gonna miss it? Like because to them it's like if I miss this entrance, like everything's ruined. Like to them it's like a huge deal. But it's like all right, don't worry about it. But it's hard to communicate that unless that's a great idea. Doing like a FaceTime like that, or
yeah.
you having to actually explain all of that stuff out.
And another thing that I do ask, like if I get this type of client that it's very like nitpicky on stuff, I would
Yeah.
ask, hey, when is your site visit thingy? Like when they rehearsals. When is
Yeah.
rehearsals? And if it's close to me, I'll go
Just
and I'll
go
go
there.
and do it live there. But
That's a good idea too.
yeah, it's it gives them the peace of mind. You going above and beyond, which it doesn't really take much. If it's like 2 hour away drive, I'm not going. But if it's like
Yeah.
if it's around here in the where I am, then why not? Like to
Yeah.
have to give them the peace of mind, and you giving them an extra shot of trust. Hey, you can trust me. I'm here.
Right.
I want you to see what's gonna happen. So we all in the same page, and that helps a lot. And once you do this, hopefully the person will like hold off or hop off your back from
Yeah, and
being
they'll
so
trust
like,
you more.
yeah, will
That's
trust you
the thing.
more
I think you have to go and do these extra things for the bridezillas too, because like you said, it kind of earns it tells them that like, oh, you understand like the level of detail that they're looking for, and then also like you have solutions for it too, because like to them like when you go and you show her the hot cues thing, she's like, they probably have no idea that's how DJ equipment works. We're like, oh wow, like okay, now we feel a lot better about like this, and it's not gonna be like on her. She's not gonna be like, oh, I have to listen for my cue, and if I miss it, like I'm gonna ruin everything too. So it takes a load off of them as well. Now, let me just right here read what Smiley said. Said definitely you can set the tone, the vibe, and the crowd can definitely be out there catching up with friends and family they haven't seen. Yeah, I think that was from before when you were talking about like the expectations and what clients should expect. But yeah, this one, then there's a couple other things in here that were just kind of funny. This was all fine. They had some stuff for the first dance, like jumping around in it. But when I was doing this live, it was funny because people don't pay attention to details like this. But I was announcing like, all right, bride's father, please come to the stage for your father and daughter dance. And I walk by the bride there, and she whispers in my ear, she's like, what stage? Like what stage? I'm like, hey, this is the middle of the dance floor, like the middle of the thing, But she's taking it so literally, like there's like what stage? Like there's no stage here, I'm like,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean, like like anybody else would know what you mean, but even on the day of, like she was like being so like kind of like attention to all the details, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
I was like, I just kind of
there's people that take everything very literal. Like,
yeah, exactly.
literal, like,
I was like, oh shit. I was like, I messed that up. But other than that,
Smiley said for songs to cut off at certain times, I just edit the songs for the start times to cut off time. Basically, cut the songs with the software, so I don't have to worry about the high cues and trying to. Well, yeah. So that's another way that you can do it, but sometimes with this, and then this happened to me once. I was doing an event, and so there was a song for 4 of the kids that were gonna walk, and the song was like a 2-minute long. So I played the song. Oh, actually, it was 6 kids. So I played the song from the minute that she wanted me, and it was only like a minute left. It's a 2-minute song. It was only a minute long for them to walk. Well, the first 2 kids took like 20 seconds to come out.
Yeah.
And then, boom, I was running out of time, out of the minute, because by the second or the third couple, the song was almost over.
Yeah.
So in there, if you cut the song, that means that you have to
jump back.
You have to jump back into that, as opposed to like doing it live. You can let the song go a little longer, and then just jump into the other one. So it depends on how you want to do it. If you want to, jump back to the beginning of the song, to where it was set to start, or just have like a little like wiggle room, just in case for things like that. But that's a good. It's a good idea.
I do that. I highlighted here. I'll do that for like a dance, like a first dance or something where they know, like, all right, I'm not going to need any wiggle room, So it's like for this, when she was telling me like, start here, transition to this, cut off at this, I just pre-made that, and I cut it off with the software and stuff. But like you said, for intros though, for that exact same reason, I won't do that, because like sometimes the intro, they need a little bit longer. You're waiting for somebody. So what I'll do is I'll make a track. Like let's say there's like four parties being introed. What I'll do sometimes is I'll make a one long track where I'll just import all the audio into one long track. So it's like the first entrance song, they're all there in that big track, and then I'll just hot cue in that one big track. So I don't have to switch, go to the next track, load it. I can just hit hot cues for the intros, and then I have that wiggle room too. It'll be the entire song. So if they're taking longer, it'll just keep playing or something like that,
Yeah, that's what I do when I have a lot of songs for different introductions, and I just put them all together in one track, and then I just have hot cues.
And then hot cue.
And as Pete was talking, there's words that he says that I already know to like change the song to the other one, because he's about to present them. So like just jump to it. So
but definitely, usually if it's like, if I know for fixed, like, all right, it's this is not this song isn't gonna change, then I'll definitely cut it ahead of time and then just use that. So I'm not having to like live jump during their first dance, to another part of the song and stuff. And then I was
Actually, for a first dance, I had to combine two songs, and it was
oh yeah,
funny 'cause,
I remember you said this story once before
yeah,
too, or maybe it was
one
just to me.
well, probably. Wait, no, but I think no, this is another one. But
Oh,
once I combined the songs, I sent it to the bride, and she was like, "Wow, this is amazing," because I didn't even notice that you cut the song. She thought
mm,
that it was a whole, because she's like, "Can we do like half of this song and half of this song?" But there was the half of the second song. There was a big long break in the center
yeah,
that I thought it
yeah,
was like just stupid. So I cut
yeah,
that off, but I don't know how. But I know how. But I cut it off so right that when I put together the rest of the song, it literally sounded like one song. So you
mhm,
couldn't. And she thought it was like the whole song, and I was like, no, that's actually cut. And I was
yeah,
like, look, if you listen to after minute 2:10, you should see, like, you should hear lyrics, but now you don't hear lyrics. You hear like the almost like the end of the strophe of the music. And then she's
and
like, oh
those
wow,
types
okay.
of things, like when you do those types of things, like you already win them before you even do the event. They're like, oh, like this guy knows what he's doing, like he's amazing. Like even
Yeah,
you get to the event, and when you do things like that beforehand, even if you mess something up or whatever, like you get a lot of more grace from them because they're like you already kind of won them over just in that pre-planning process.
yeah, because they already know what you're capable of, and all the, like, all the good work that you're doing behind scenes with them, that
Yeah,
their guests don't see. But once
yeah,
you get there, it's all blown out. Um,
yeah.
Now another huge one is listening actively. Like, if you know, like, this is the type of client that you're getting, listen to every single thing they say. Take notes. I mean, take notes, because you're gonna want to go back to that and make sure that everything is exact as it was said on meetings or messages. That's another thing. When after you finish of having the meeting with them, like, video chat or whatever, always send a message confirming, okay, like, per our conversation, this is what's happening, this is what we're changing, this is the songs that we're playing, something like that, so they know that you, like, you understood what they want. So that also gives a peace of mind to them.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like all the writing I have here, and like on this one, like, yeah,
Oh,
so
that's from your gigs, or like from
yeah,
their
so
planning
this is
meetings.
this is for, like, this is a wedding planning sheet, because they don't have a wedding planner, and they asked me if I can help them. So I was like, yeah, yeah, sure. So I did this joint for them, and then this is
Mm,
for the next week's gig, um, planification stuff. So, and like, I just wanted to make sure that that I'm not missing any pieces or anything like that, because this lady's actually one of the ones that are very nitpicky with her stuff. So I had to.
not a
Definitely,
bright birthday Zilla.
I had to do something similar, but I use instrumental stands for Serato to remove vocals. A quinceañera wanted to add a personal voice message in the part the artist spoke, and it was perfect. Okay,
Yeah, that's the
damn.
other thing, dude. Stems. You could use stems, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, like this is amazing." You're like, "Hey, like, you take all the credit," but you're like, "This is all Serato, like all Serato's like doing right now."
Again, that also happened to me when at the restaurant that I DJ every now and then. Uh,
Yeah,
the guys are like, "Yo, can you play this song?" But I'm sorry, I didn't tell you before, but I wanted karaoke. I was like, "Say less." Boop,
yeah.
take the vocals out, and he was like, "What the hell? How do you do that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you press a button that takes remove the vocals from the track. That's it. It's not that big of a deal." But it was like, "Man, that's crazy, man. That's what's up." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Thank you." So yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
that happens. I charge $30 more for the special mix, though. I charge for everything. I'm like, hey, you right, bro. Like, Well, I don't. I don't charge for the mix, but like I said
Yeah.
before, I won't charge for the mix, but you only allowed to change it once. Like I send it to you, you revise, and you allowed to change it once. After that, I have to charge for you. You're wasting my time. By then,
Yeah, I need to start charging too. That we both I think do it for free right now, but yeah, people get crazy, and they're doing like
yeah,
bunch of mixes, trying to do like, and then they're not even like the bride, like whatever, the bride and groom or the quince, they're not even in it. It's like family members are sending you stuff for their performances. You're like, yo,
yeah.
I don't like, I
No,
have
and
no interest.
especially for like quince, like surprise dances. They be sending you like
Yeah,
6 to 10 songs, and they
yeah,
want, yo, this song I want from minute 3 to 1, from minute 3 to 53, and then cut that until 1 minute and 5 until
yeah.
3:05, and cut the last part, and then just put like, bro, what?
Yeah, it's
That's
a
a
lot of
lot.
time, dude. Like you spend hours doing it, and then especially, yeah, like you said, like if they're then they change their mind or something, or I had a bride who she wasn't a bridezilla, but she was like, oh, just pick the part of the song that you think fits best. So I had made a mix with the part that I thought fit best, and then she's like, no, you know what? I don't want the male artist singing. I want the female artist singing. So she made me change it. And then
Yeah,
on the day of, when it was time for the performance, she's like, you know what? You were right. Actually, can you change it like right now? It was like 30 minutes before the event starts. Can you change it to the male voice, because my family doesn't know, like, can't do the moves to the female part. And I was like, I just want to be like, yo, I told you so. Like, we should have listened to me. But I was like, I'm like setting up, right? So I'm like, shit, but it's a bride. So I changed the mix. I changed them all out. I had it all in my crates and everything, but I threw the old one out. I put the new one in, and then I did it for the performance. But I'm like, hey, this is like, all this bullshit back and forth, extra
yeah,
time. That I'm like, if you have a rule like that, or if you're charging them, like, oh, if you're doing more revisions, $30 more, or something, then they're not going to be doing all this like last minute
yeah.
stuff.
Same thing with me. Remember, I said it already here that I had to do a mix on the fly because
Oh yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah,
I got to the wedding, and it was a surprise dance because Middle Easterns love to do surprise dances for the couples. So there were like the cousins and the sisters and a whole bunch of like just family members that
yeah, yeah,
they made a dance, and I made the mix for them. So when I get to the event, they tell me that they want to change 2 songs,
yeah,
and they were like, "I want, can we change 2 songs? This one and this one for this minute to this minute and this minute to this minute." And then I was like, "The event starts in an hour, and I
yeah,
was still setting up." I was
yeah.
like, "Damn!"
This is
So
crazy,
literally,
dude.
I told Pee Wee, and he had to set up himself everything while I was making the mix. Like I
Yeah,
was like,
that's just
"That's crazy."
yeah,
Yeah,
that's just like, that's when you get taken advantage of for being a nice DJ,
yeah.
basically. You're like,
Smiley
doing
said
all
that
this stuff. Yeah, wait, this
I
one. Oh
tried
yeah.
with
Okay.
virtual DJ stems, but Serato stems sounds better with instrumental.
Oh
I've
really?
never tried virtual DJ stems. But I like Seratos once.
Yeah, I haven't tried virtual. That's good to know. Seratos are better because that's the one who I use.
Yeah,
Next, I
for
use the
the
soft.
mix, I use the software, and turnaround time is 1 to 2 days. But I usually finish mixes in 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, me too. Depending on like, obviously depends on that complexity that that it requires. You can do a mix of like pretty much in 30 minutes,
Yeah,
30 to 45 minutes. It's it's not that difficult, especially now with that like a whole bunch of softwares that you can use, and like all the tools that we have. We can do a mix, but obviously we need to make sure that it's good. And I mean, I do it when once I do the mix, I always send it to them like, yo, listen to it, let me know if it's good. If it's not good, let me know what to change, and I'll change it and send it to you again. After that, because it's based on what you told me, I'm charging, because at that point you're taking a lot of my time.
too much time. And
Yeah,
then Smiley, I got hit up to make a hour mix for Ora Loca. I charged them 250 for it because it was a mix for the next day. I added Damn, bro, 250 is awesome, dude. That's sick. You do it like working from home.
And for
That's
an hora
awesome.
loca, god damn, that's an hour full of mix. That's crazy.
Oh,
But
oh shit. Oh, hour mix. Okay, the whole mix
yeah,
is an hour long.
yeah, in hora loca, it's an hour of like hype music. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Don't they
and
usually?
then
Don't the guys usually have their own mixes, like the robot or whatever? Oh,
no,
really?
that's what
So what do you do?
I thought that it was supposed to be like that
Oh,
because when you go like it's your business, right? You let's say that you're promoting your hora loca business. You have the robot with the lights, and then you have someone coming in with like the freaking balloons, and then the little glasses and the whistles and whatever.
yeah,
You and your crew knows what you guys dance to, what helps you guys to perform better. We
yeah,
don't know what you guys like, so why are you coming to us to tell us to make an hora loca when you should be coming here with your music?
yeah,
Just give me a USB drive or something
yeah. Send
so I
it.
can play the music.
That's
And
interesting because
it happened.
I thought I saw a gig log where maybe it was Drizzy Dre or somebody where they're like the robot guy had his own mix, but it probably just depends on who it
It's
is.
rare. It's very rare that they have their own mix, and that happened to me once on one of my weddings. The one that the first time I used the dancing on the cloud, the hora loca people, the guy came with his USB and he's like, "Yo, that song is right there." It was the only song in the USB. I was
Hmm.
like, "All right, bet." So I assumed that it was an hour long. The song was a minute and a half long, bro. I put it on Serato, right? I play it, and then I just backed off. I'm like, "All right, bro, I'm good for an hour." After a minute, boom, cricket, and then everybody
Oh
was looking at
shit!
me, and I was like,
Oh
so
my
I
god,
quickly
bro.
just pressed play on my other deck,
Yeah,
because I
whatever
already
was
had
playing.
I had to know that like, I also have Oda local music, so I just had one queued up because
Hmm.
you never know. So I had one queued up, but I backed off, and then
Bro.
the music stopped because the thing was done, and then everybody looking at me, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I it's not me, like
A
this,
minute 30.
yeah, like
Bro,
you getting
why
paid for
even
an
like
hour, you getting paid for an hour, you're gonna come with a
yeah,
1 minute and 30-second song. Get out of here.
bro, why go through all the trouble of having the USB, bringing it over? That whole process take more than a minute 30. The song is a minute 30 on the after all that hard work. That's crazy, dude.
Exactly. And then at the end, I was like, hey, like you should let the DJ know next time that this is not an hora loca like mix. This is only like your introduction. Pretty much was just
Yeah.
the introduction to their hora loca type of thing. But then the
Uh,
music it had to come from me.
and
So
then,
I was like, man, that's stupid.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right though. I think they should have their mix ready to go. Yes, they should, but they don't.
That's true, because
Now I'm
then if
gonna
somebody's like, "Oh, that Oro Loca wasn't good," like they'll just blame the DJ. Then like they'll just like, "Oh, it wasn't us. It was the DJ's music wasn't good. The music he was playing wasn't good." Like if someone
yo,
like clients like didn't like it or something.
Smiley, can you upload? I love the mix on YouTube or something. I want to listen to it. I wanna listen to your
Yeah,
Hora Loca.
that's 250 though, bro. It's 250.
I have a feeling it's gonna be fire. I
Smiley
mean,
put it up on Patreon. Your subscribers only at Patreon.
no, put it on Mixcloud.
Yeah, Mixcloud. You gotta monetize that thing. Hour long mix. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sure they exist. I'm sure they exist on YouTube though. If you search Ora Loca mix, I'm sure that they're out there.
Yeah, they do. There's a whole bunch of them, but majority of them play the same music.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of Hora Loca mixes in there. But it's cool like to hear different perspectives of Hora Locas. In Hora Loca in Mexico, like a
oh
Mexican
yeah,
Hora Loca is completely different than a Peruvian Hora Loca because
yeah,
like La Chona is not gonna be in it. Um, like all this like music, like Mexican music, probably it's not gonna go well in a Peruvian party. Here
yeah.
maybe because here is like every genre works, but like if you go to Mexico and you do a Peruvian hora loca, everybody's like, what? Like and vice versa. I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't work. But the flow, what up?
Smiley's gonna try to upload it.
Yeah, let me know. I wanna check it out. I wanna listen to it. I'm intrigued to hear your Hora Loca. That'd be cool.
Then you can use it.
If you good Hora Loca mixes of 15-20 minutes each, you can get by with different genre of it. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so not every single Hora Loca. You know what? Actually, no one lasts an hour dancing to start with.
Hours a long ass time. Yeah, that's a long time, dude.
Yeah, they get tired. But like good 30 to 40 minutes, yes. If like
so when is it usually? Is it in the middle of the dance floor, or like do you end with that, or is it like in the middle and then it's over and then you go back to like playing whatever you were kind of playing before?
Yeah, so it's pretty much in the middle. So you have like your first set, and then let's say you do like the cake, or like you whatever. If it's a wedding, you do what is like the whatever the flower.
Garter bouquet toss and stuff.
Yeah, the bouquet toss, the garter toss, the cake. Right after the cake, that's when you can do the Hora Loca, like an hour before the party ends, and then the last hour is just like you back to like regular music to like bring it down, because like right now with the Hora Loca you're and then you just bring it down, so that's usually how it works. But it also depends on the client. Some clients wanted to start the party with an Hora Loca, so you do
then you start up here, and then it's hard to match.
You start up here. Somehow you need to try to stay in here or here, and then later on just start going down. But it depends. It depends solely on the client, on what they want, what they're looking for. It's very rare that they want the Hora Loca at the end, because you don't like. Yeah, sometimes you wanna end a party on a high note, but not with an Hora Loca. You just want people to like keep dancing at that point,
Yeah. So Smiley said, I'm gonna play the Hora Loca mix at a quinceañera this month. I said I'll have it ready. I might as well use it and chill that hour. Yeah. Hey. You could use a pre-made mix. I was always thinking about that. I have a few for specific genres, but I don't. I haven't actually used one at a gig yet. How about you?
A pre-mix?
Yeah, even like a pre-made mix, or like a few like 10-minute long mix or something like that of songs.
That is one thing that I don't do is pre-mixes. I do everything live. I do everything live.
But what if you do a Hora Loca mix then? What if you make one? You'll do it live?
That's why I don't make one. Because I know I'm gonna fall into my lazy ass and just like go into that and not worry about it. That's why I don't want to. Yeah, that's why I don't want to do it. I rather
you gotta have some ready in case like something like that happens again, where you just need to play something, like the guy's mix shuts off and you need to just have something ready to go.
Yeah, so once now, when I'm in Hora Loca, and for some reason, this only happened once, that they gave me a USB for an Hora Loca thing. But now if they give me a USB, I'll have a song ready just in case something goes wrong with the music that they have, and then I'll just play my track. But like I wasn't expecting that to be like, I guess in a way it's kind of also my fault, because I should have seen like how long the mix was. But
it shows up on there.
Who would have thought that you're gonna come here with a USB with a minute and a half song? Like, what the hell? You're getting paid for an hour, and you bring in 1 minute and 30 seconds.
1 minute and 30, dude. That's what I'm like. Why even go through all that trouble to bring a USB?
And the worst part, it wasn't even a song. It was just talking, because that's the introduction to your Hora Loca. Like,
you gotta at least put like a song there, like put a song afterwards and give it
at the end. It started with the song. So like,
and you can transition.
Yeah, and then it said like, "Ahora I prepare for the Hora Loca, blah blah." And then, that's it. So I was like, damn. But yeah, you
That's
learn from
hilarious.
those, you learn from those
Yeah,
things.
that's funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Back in the
That's what I
day,
was
we
thinking.
ain't had Hora Loca. We just kept the party hype and crunk the whole time. Yeah, that's very true. Hora Loca thing is just recently, like maybe like a couple of years,
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 years, that started like being. I think from 2019, before coronavirus like hit, before Corona hit, that's what the Hora Loca was like started coming out. But it was used mainly on clubs. On clubs,
Oh, that's
it
where
was
it
used
came
a
from.
lot. Yeah, and then that's where it came from, and then it got transitioned to weddings, quinces, and all of that.
Yeah, that's why I said that's what his mix says at the beginning too.
I mean, mine too. Well, mine is not a mix, but I do have a. I there was a in Hora Loca that I just cut that part, and then it says, and now get
Yeah,
ready for la Hora Loca, and then I just start playing like.
and
But
then it
you know
just
what?
cuts off.
What I love about playing Hora Loca music is the pressure that I get to quick mix and
Mm,
choose the correct tracks that are gonna work. Because
yeah, yeah,
in Hora Loca for adults is completely different than the Hora Loca that you're gonna use for young kids. It's completely
yeah. That's
different music. So, but it's fun. The pressure is there, and I love the pressure and the anxiety of like, damn, what's the next song? What's the next song? And and also I have hot cues on every song and every Hora Loca song that I use because I know
yeah.
where I want to start the song. There's songs that are like very like weak in the
It starts
beginning,
slow.
but
Yeah,
there's when the beat drops, that's when it's lit. So that's where I start. That's when I started. Sometimes there's no even since it's an hora loca, you don't really have to like beat match. As long as you can drop it on the one or just wait for a specific time where the your left song is like has a like an effect, and then you can just throw the next song
yeah.
as long as
As long as it's
as
recognizable.
long as you drop it on the right part, they like
Yeah,
they don't care, it works. And
yeah,
since it's like a
yeah.
crazy hour, it doesn't matter. You don't have to like mix fully. So he
What's
said,
that?
I use Tribal, a 69 Tribal song is fire. Tribal is fun. Tribal is fun. It's fun to dance. It's very upbeat and it's very like danceable. So yeah,
I never
so,
even heard of that before.
yeah. There's a like I believe the song that became famous from Tribal is Inténtalo. That's the name of it. Check
Mm.
it out. It starts very like weak. It goes dun, 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 dun. But then when the beat drops, you're like, oh shit, okay. You start like you even start like jumping. So
Wait, what's it
it's like
called?
I
Intent.
inténtalo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Tribal
Uh,
baile.
yeah. So if you play it, like the
Oh,
intro is a little weak.
I just heard it for a second. You could tell.
Dude, it's lit,
Hold
bro.
on,
That song is lit.
let me play that. This one. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, yeah, you can hear it.
Let me skip through. But like it changes up.
Yeah, it goes up and down. But like the beat is so like cool, so
Yeah, yeah.
dancing.
I like that. I like that main one, the main chorus one with the da 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 da
Yeah,
da 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 da.
yeah.
No,
That
that's
one.
catchy. That's
Yeah,
sick.
that was it. Okay, but not to get sidetracked. Another thing that I think it's also helpful to help with this type of clients is offering solutions, not problems. Just like I mentioned before, uh, make sure that you're always when an issue arises, that you are able to give an alternative way of doing things because a no, it's not good for you or for them. It's not
Yeah,
it's not good. But if you say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. However, I can do this. That takes completely over your no and being a problem solving person or business. It helps you tremendously with the with the client. That puts you on again. It puts you on a high note because even though something was not able to be done, you offer a solution to the problem, and that is huge. When you are able to solve problems with alternative ways, it helps so much with confidence too. It builds up your own confidence if you're able to like save the night. It like I
Yeah.
saw a video. I don't know who's like the whole like light went off, but he had the battery power EV8.
I think it was too legit. I think it was too legit, maybe.
Okay, well he played out of that. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
he connected his phone and was playing
That's
music
why.
from it.
Can you
So
imagine, like, if you played that, you
things
save the
like that.
party.
Can you imagine the review you're gonna get from that?
Yeah,
That's
they'd be
amazing. Like
like,
it was gonna be, it's great. It's gonna be amazing.
they think the party's over, and then all of a sudden they just hear the music start playing in the back, like with the lights off and everything. That'd be crazy.
And another thing, and I mean, this one is obvious, man. I went blur again. Uh, hold up.
Oh
Let
yeah.
me let me change my camera real quick. Sorry for the technical difficulties. But anyways, okay.
Oh
So another one. It's and this is obvious because everyone should have this. Have a contract that stipulates every single thing that needs to be stipulated in the contract. That way you don't get hurt, they don't get hurt, and if anything happens, you can be like, look, it's in my contract. This is what it says. Blah 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 blah. So I'm sorry, but we follow the contract. Having the contract is very crucial,
yeah,
especially with when you're dealing with clients that are like very nitpicky.
yeah. Just in case, hopefully you don't have to like. Hopefully you don't have to be like, oh, okay, but in my contract, you guys agree. Hopefully you don't it doesn't come to that. But if you need to, then at least you have it all there in writing. And yeah, I know. I saw that video. That's the
Yeah,
OPS. Bro, okay, hold on. Sidetrack though. That was crazy though, because he was doing two subs, tops, laptop, controller, and a fan for like over 4 hours. That's insane, man.
yeah. Was that like that thing was what, like $400?
No, I think it was more than that. I think that one is like probably $700 because it's a
Oh,
big that's a big that's a big watt. I think that was like 2,000 watts or something. So yeah, that it costs a lot, but the other brands cost more than that for that capacity. But that's
yeah,
crazy. That's two subs because subs take up a lot too. So you're doing two subs, two tops. Laptops take a lot of power. The chargers take a ton of power too. So
yeah.
that's legit for
But
four
especially the
hours.
subs. The subs are like the thing that
Yeah,
takes the
subs
most.
take tops you can do, but subs is insane. So yeah, it's definitely legit.
Yeah, it's
Too
too legit.
legit. It's too
It's too
legit.
legit. Another thing that will help is working or collaborating with everyone in the venue. So make sure that you collaborate with other vendors that are in the venue to make sure and that everything it's how everything was said to be done, and that everything is going according to time and the timeline. Making sure that you following the timeline is huge and crucial for their piece, for the bride's piece or the client's piece, because if something goes out of order, they like they got so many things going on in their heads that one
Yeah.
little thing that's off and they start tripping.
And then have a
So
breakdown.
yeah, and that's when we come with our professionalism to be able to fix the issue. But it will also be very helpful if you have a good relationship with all the vendors that are working the event. That way you guys
Yeah.
have a good communication, good correlation of all the times and everything that is going on throughout the night, so everything becomes flawlessly. And even if something goes wrong, we can make it seamless because we have a connection now, as opposed to like
Yeah.
when it happens you're trying to figure out, yo, who I need to talk to. Like, let's say that at 7 o'clock food's supposed to be ready and the food is nowhere to be found at 7 o'clock. Like, have you if you would have talked to the vendor before, then you would have, like, they would have known, hey, at 7 o'clock we need to have the food here. But if we don't have the communication with them, then we get set back, and with the
Yeah,
setback, then
especially
that puts pressure on the clients.
when you don't have a if you don't have a coordinator too, like that ends up becoming the DJ's job. Like
Yeah,
before you do the entrances, you got to make sure the photographer or whatever videographer that they know that the entrances are happening before everything finishes. Then you're like, all right, time for dinner. But before you do that, you have to make sure that the staff is ready to serve dinner. Otherwise you're gonna say, all right,
yeah,
everyone, dinner is now served, and they're like, what the hell, so you gotta be aware of all that stuff, and especially with the Bridezilla, if you say something like that and dinner is not ready, they're gonna start freaking out.
exactly. Yeah, and then from there, you need to figure out a way to like ease off, the tension that's gonna be there,
Yeah,
because whatever was supposed to happen is not happening because it's not ready. So again,
but that reminds me,
communication with others is it's crucial. But
this is kind of unrelated, but DJ Barr, he was on that Aaron Strawn's live stream. So he was saying how he had a bride. This was definitely sounds like a Bridezilla, but he was like trying to get everybody on the dance floor. So he made an announcement, like, when the dance floor opened up. All right, everybody, your bride and groom want everybody on the dance floor. Let's go. Like, kind of like this general announcement you'd make like that, like to get
yeah,
people. And then the bride apparently like came up to him like angry. I never told you to say that. Like dead serious, like pissed off. I never told you to say that. And then like storms out and is missing for like an hour after that. And Barr was saying how he was just like, bro, like I was floored. Like I had no idea like what to do. Like I was so shocked. Like this was just insane. And then like I guess later the next day or something, they were like she apologized and was like I was just really stressed out or something. But like that's the thing, like you never know sometimes with the brides, like what the kind of things that can set them off, even the smallest thing like that. Like if you say something like that they weren't expecting, it's like it can like turn the whole event upside down.
yeah. But I see, in that case, I think she took it to the extreme. Like,
Definitely.
obviously, you
Oh,
want everyone
obviously.
to you pay a
Obviously.
DJ because you want everyone to dance.
Yeah,
So for the
obviously.
for the DJ to use you as a hook to get everybody to the dance floor, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
At your own party too. Like what do you
Yeah,
mean? Like
it's your own
it's
party.
like
Like,
you
what the
don't
hell?
want them on the dance floor? Like is that what you're saying? Like yeah, obviously
Yeah,
like
like,
whatever she was thinking, like that was obviously like crazy, but like that's how she reacted to something like that, which is you just never know, dude. But sometimes the stress that they're going under, and I don't know why someone be so offended, but it's crazy sometimes with
yeah.
weddings.
With regarding, so something that is connected to work, well, work or collaborate with your other vendors is anticipate needs. Well, that's another thing that can help ease off your bride or your customer. If you step if you stay one step ahead, by anticipating any potential like issues, any addressing them, address any issues before, like sometimes we as DJs see something off, or like see something that potentially could be off. If we jump into it before that happens and make sure that it goes accordingly to what we wanted to, how we wanted to go, then we avoid that issue. And that's another thing that's crucial to help your event go flawlessly, and give the bride or your customer the peace of mind that everything is going flawlessly and going is getting done correctly, because you want to be able to prove to them, because I you're never done proving yourself to the clients. They might trust you and all of that, but especially with this type of clients, the ones that are nitpicky on their stuff, there's never enough assurance. So every little thing that you can do to assure them that they are in the right hands, do it. Go above
Yeah.
and beyond.
Oh, Smiley wrote, I asked the clients if they want people to come up to dance a minute or so into their first dance or after everything. I've seen DJs announce people to dance with during first dances. Yeah. I've seen people do that, but that's definitely, you want to make sure you ask for their permission, or that's something they want to do, you know, because if you did that and the bride was like, oh, this is our moment, you know, this they could get really pissed off about that too.
I've never asked that question. That's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
at least for
ask.
me,
I don't ask
all
it
my
either.
brides wanna do their first dance, because we do their first dance, and then we do the parent dances, like the father daughter dance, and then the mom and son dance. So, and then after that we go to dinner. So
Yeah.
I never have that problem, unless dinner is before the dances, which in some places they do it. They do it that way. They walk in, they do dinner, and then they do the dances.
Mm.
And they do all the dances, and the last dance is their dance. And
Their
then after
dance,
that,
and then
you
you
open the
open up
show.
the dance floor. Yeah, for that would be perfect. You have everyone come up, and then you open up the dance floor, so you have the whole dance floor already packed before you hit the first song.
Yeah. Another way to, like what Smiley's saying right now, it's a
Yeah,
way
exactly.
for DJs to get the crowd on the dance floor. Another great way to get them on the dance floor is by doing the anniversary dance.
Mm.
That's another thing that it helps get everyone on the dance floor, at least like warm up to a slow song, and then after that, boom, just you drop it.
Yeah, my problem with that one is like, yeah, you're getting people on the dance floor, but then the part of the game is once you trying to get people off the dance floor too. It's like, all right, everyone, 50 years or whatever, then everyone's off the dance floor. You only got one person left at the end too. So it's kind of like, that's why I kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't like it that
Yes,
much because of that.
yes, but the engine of the car has already started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the car is
I
already
just
on.
rather just do a dance and have everyone come up. Be like, all right, everyone join them, and then everyone stay on, and then you drop that. Then you open up the dance floor with everybody already there. Because otherwise, it's like you get everyone up there, and then all the people whose anniversary wasn't the longest, they're all back to their seats. Like, all right, get off the dance floor. So then they're all back on their seats. And they're like, all right, now everybody come back again for once we open up the dance floor.
You're right. You're right. I see what you're saying. It's just like in my thought process, like once you end the dance floor, once you break the ice to start with, the ice is broken, and
Yeah, at least they've been up
you
there.
you already danced, you're already in the mood a little bit. So it's all a matter of choosing the right song to start the party, because they already they're already boiled, they're ready to go. So once you drop a fire song as your first song to open the dance floor, everybody that already danced and sat down because of the anniversary dance, boom, it comes back up, and then from there you just build up. But different takes, different points of views. It works for some, it doesn't work for some.
It's good to have the different tools.
Yeah,
it's good to
there's
have
no
the different
wrong way to
tools.
do it, but it's great to have different ways to do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And eventually, as long as it works for you, that's what matters.
Yeah.
And
I gotta go this time because I'm 3 hours. It's 7 p.m. for me. Now it's dinner time. My wife's waiting on me for dinner, so I can't stay.
All right,
I can't stay. Our usual new time of 10:20.
No, okay, that's fine. All right, guys. We'll cut it off right now because Shay got to eat with the wife. Yeah, do what you gotta
now
do.
I'm in a different time zone, bro.
Hey, time some.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next week. Thank you guys very much for showing support, love. Thank you, Smiley. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Can't wait to hear your mix.
Yeah, Smiley holding it down. Yeah, hear the Ora Loca mix.
Yeah,
maybe Diego, you're gonna play it next time. Play the 1 hour mix at your next Ora Loca.
Maybe. But all right, guys, you take it easy. Have a good one. Stay blessed. Talk to you in the next one.
All right, peace.